Yep. So in order to record in a digital environment, recording environment, yes, we might need the following. So before I set up, I'll maybe follow up everything one by one. We have 3 types of microphones. Mostly in a studio setup, we are mostly using a dynamic, a condenser, or a ribbon microphone. So this is an example of a dynamic mic. It has one polar pattern. As you can see, this is a Behringer SL54. Yeah, this is a Behringer SL54. Yeah, microphone. It's a dynamic mic. It does not need phantom power, but it's mostly used again in the studio. So after that, we have in most common places and studios, we usually use a condenser mic. A condenser mic is a mic which needs phantom power to be powered in order to record. It has about this one, a Mojave condenser mic. This is a large diaphragm condenser mic, by the way. It's not a small diaphragm, it's a large diaphragm. It has 3 polar pattern here. We have got the figure 8, the cardioid, and the 360 type of polar patterns. Here we have the shelving knob, of which you can be able to shelve out either low pass or high pass, and then we have here, as you can see, I think this is amplitude reduction. It's more like a pan button, of which you can pan it to 15 dBs. You can reduce depending on how high the signal is coming in. So and then for monitoring purpose, we usually use these studio speakers. These are monitoring speakers that we use for monitoring in the studio. That's for like when we are done using. In most cases, we use these closed ones, closed back. But if you want to hear maybe from a distance point of view, we usually use these monitoring speakers. Then we have now a sound card. A sound card is simply an interface in between the computer and the computer and the sound source, which its main purpose is to amplify the signal as it's coming into the computer for processing. You know, as it is, a signal, when a signal is generated, it comes in very small and tiny. It's a very small signal that comes into, that has to be passed through into an amplifier for it to be good enough for processing. And in most cases, for the cable mics, we use XLR cables because of the balanced signal that comes with an XLR cable. An XLR cable is balanced cable. As you can see, this is above 10 meters. That can be used, and it reduces noise. As you know, by doubling, signal begins to produce noise, and XLR cables are good for noise reduction into the signal. And for storage and processing of the signal, I have this computer. This is simply a laptop. This laptop that will be doing that's where I'll be processing the signal from here and storage of the signal. Yes, and for the vocal, we have this stand. This is a pop filter. We have a stand here. This is a microphone stand, and as you can see, we have got an acoustic treatment here, which this is a diffuser, as you can see, but it can also work as an absorber because of its material as an acoustic treatment, of which you cannot be able to get sound from the back or from anything. So I'll be using this stand. This is a microphone stand, and this is the mic stand for the Mojave. So, and for me MIDI manipulation and triggering, I have this MIDI controller. This is an Impact LX25 that I'll be using for MIDI manipulating and MIDI triggering. As you can see, it has got an octave buttons and transpose here and the pad. Yep. Now setting up, I keep my computer here.
Then we left.
So yes, my computer is in place. My interface is in place. So you get a printer cable. I'll start with the speakers.
I'm finishing the day tomorrow. That's the last get.
No, as in,
No, that's the screenshots.
okay.
OBS compares you have tomorrow.
That's why you don't see it. That's it.
If I play your phone, you don't phone your phone.
Frank, I already know about you. You were right in front of me.
This is a simple setup. This is my MIDI controller. Here, my MIDI triggering controller that I'll be using to trigger my samples. And this is my computer. As you can see, it's still loading. And I have my sound card here. And I have two lines going into my left speaker and my right speaker. And I've got my closed back headsets here that I'll be using for close monitoring. And I've got my mic here mounted on a shock mount. This is a Mojave big diaphragm condenser mic, and I've got a pop filter here and the stand. So this is the basic studio setup. Apparently the signal, I have land power. Here is my adapter, and my speakers are being powered. As you can see, this is for my light speaker, this is for my left speaker, this is for the laptop, and we have the adapter here which goes into the power socket, the power source there. Yep, so let's try to learn the signal now and see if we can record a very short sample. Thank you. Okay, so our setup is done, and now let's try to check if everything is okay. So try by maybe trying to put the metronome to see if our signal is being routed into the speakers. So let's check. Yep. We're getting the signal from the speakers now. We have routed well. We have configured the speakers and the computer. So for now, we must try if the signal is coming to the microphone. So because we are using a condenser mic, we are not using a dynamic mic. We need phantom power, which I'm using channel 1 here on my interface. I know it's a bit down here, so I'll increase the volume a bit and push in the phantom power. Takes time for it to come through. takes a bit of time, but definitely comes. Let's see if we can get ourselves from the speakers. Okay, so since everything is routed now, let's trace from the signal to the microphone. So just have to insert a channel here, and then I am the channel recording, and I bet there's already signal that is coming through the mic, because it shows here on my computer the signal coming through. So I increase it just a bit and the speaker, so that you might be able to get me when I speak.
You a child, buddy. No, buddy.
Now that we're done doing our setup, we've got our speakers, our computer, our interface, our microphone, and everything that we need. Our MIDI controller here, our MIDI controller here. Let's try to learn the signal one more time. Yes, we have got the signal coming into our speakers. We have got the signal coming into our speakers. Now let's try if the mic is working. So we'll set in just your track, and then arm the track, you're even getting feedback. Meaning the mic is already working. So let me try to speak into the microphone. So this is a simple studio studio setup in short. I've configured the microphone, my computer here. As you can see, we are even getting the feedback from the microphone, because it's able to pick me back and back into the speakers again. So this is a studio simple setup. So just a quick learn of everything. Quick learn. I have my MIDI controller here to trigger my sounds into my computer. But first, the signal goes through an interface, of which the job of an interface is just to amplify the signal so that it may be able to be routed, to be able to be boosted or whatever, or the EQing or whatever from the computer. And I have my monitor speakers here, left and right, the studio monitor, the studio speakers. And then I've got my headsets here, and I've got my recording microphone here. So this is a pop filter, and this is a Mojave big diaphragm condenser mic. Yeah, as you can hear, we can even be able to get some feedback from here, meaning everything is routed just fine. Yep. Quick learn. I have my MIDI controller here to trigger my sounds into my computer. But first, the signal goes through an interface, of which the job of an interface is just to amplify the signal so that it may be able to be routed, to be able to be boosted or whatever, or the EQing or whatever from the computer. And I have my monitor speakers here, left and right, the studio monitor, the studio speakers. And then I've got my headsets here, and I've got my recording microphone here. So this is a pop filter, and this is a Mojave big diaphragm condenser mic. Yeah, as you can hear, we can even be able to get some feedback from here, meaning everything is routed just fine. Yep. Quick learn. I have my MIDI controller here to trigger my sounds into my computer. But first, the signal goes through an interface, of which the job of an interface is just to amplify the signal so that it may be able to be routed, to be able to be boosted or whatever, or the EQing or whatever from the computer. And I have my monitor speakers here, left and right, the studio monitor, the studio speakers. And then I've got my headsets here, and I've got my recording microphone here. So this is a pop filter, and this is a Mojave big diaphragm condenser mic. Yeah, as you can hear, we can even be able to get some feedback from here, meaning everything is routed just fine. Yep.